My name's Pete Woods. You're watching Hexham TV. Who are you?
Hi, Peter. My name's Caroline Griffin. I work for Innovate UK Business Connect. We're part of the Innovate UK ecosystem, who are the UK's innovation agency, so part of UKRI. And our aim is to drive innovation in a large number of industries throughout the UK. So I can tell you a little bit about what we've been working on, if that's okay.
That'd be great.
Okay, so my area, the team that I work in is the agri-food team, and my specialization is livestock and aquaculture. And part of that role, I work on a project called Bridge AI. So this is a £100 million pot of funding from Innovate UK. It's delivered from Innovate UK, but we're also partnering with a number of other organisations who I really should mention. So they're Digital Catapult, the Hartree Centre, the Alan Turing Institute, and the British Standards Institute. So it's quite hard to say. And so they offer a number of opportunities for businesses. So not just funding, but also things like bespoke advice about AI and use of supercomputers, but a huge variety of opportunities available through that program.
So, give some examples of the sorts of things that you've been involved in, Caroline.
Okay, so I should mention that the Bridge AI program doesn't just fund agri-food projects. There's construction, transport, and creative industries. But my role is obviously supporting agri-food, agriculture, and food processing. So some of the innovations that we've seen that we've helped to fund are, really showcase the variety of uses of AI within agriculture. So an example is precision agriculture. So one of the companies we funded called Messium, they have been using remote sensing data. So precision agriculture uses information and data from things like drones and satellites, and it uses that information to help to improve crop yields, things like that. So Messium have been using remote sensing data to assess nutrient requirements in wheat so that they can enable the correct application of fertilizer. So you're not over fertilizing and causing environmental degradation, but you're not under fertilizing and, losing out on yield. So that's one example with precision agriculture. Another area where we've seen a huge increase is autonomy, robots. So, this is probably the image that most people get when they think of AI. And so a lot of agriculture companies are using robots for harvesting. So two examples of projects that we funded. One is a broccoli harvester. So it's a company called UPP Limited, and they use an automated robotic harvester for their broccoli so that they can optimize exactly when they're going to harvest the broccoli. So there's no less wastage, they're getting it exactly the right time. And I think a lot of businesses are using this. We have another example called Antibot, and they're using robots to do fruit scouting, it's called. So they're, to reduce labor, they can assess the fruit and assess its health and when it's ripe and ready to pick. And you may have heard of Dyson farming. This is a huge farm run by the Dyson company, and they produce strawberries all year round, and they use a lot of AI, not just for harvesting, but also they try to reduce chemical use. So they use robots to release bugs, so that they don't have to use pesticides and that type of thing. So robots, we're seeing a real increase in their use. So yeah, they're just a few examples of projects that we funded, but also, that are out there. And it's really interesting. I've worked on the project for 2 years now, and it's been a real fascinating insight into, how it can help to improve agriculture.
And you've mentioned some very big firms there, accessing funding and support. Is this funding open to smaller ventures as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I must say actually Dyson, they were just an example. That's that they haven't been funded through the Bridge AI program, but it's just if you're interested, it's a really interesting case study if you go and look it up online. But yeah, it's usually really quite small businesses that access this funding. So it is open to anyone. If anyone's interested, please do get in touch because we have funding opportunities, not just through Bridge AI, but within the agri-food team, we have funding open at the moment that you can access. So if anyone's interested, please do get in touch with me.
And what sort of sums are we talking about in terms of funding, Caroline?
Well, Innovate UK try to enable projects of all sizes to be funded. So we usually have a suite of funding available, and they open at different times of the year. So some of the funding can be for smaller projects that are aimed at sort of on-farm research, aimed specifically at farmers, and they're usually sort of in the 50K mark probably for projects around 6 months. But then, it stretches right through. We can have feasibility studies, small research and development projects, and it can stretch right up to, projects costing £1 million, right up to sort of really large projects that are about £5 million in over multiple years, sort of 3 or 4 years.
And is there one area of AI in agriculture that perhaps you would like to see more people apply for funding to use AI?
Well, I think the being a livestock person, livestock and aquaculture, I think I have found that area really fascinating. It can a lot of imagery can be used to try and help animal welfare. That's an area of interest for myself. So, for example, images you could place a camera above a um, milking parlour in a dairy, and these can get images of the cows moving in and out of the parlour, and they can assess, if there's any changes in their behaviour, and this can, have early detection for diseases. And so, it's a really great way of improving animal welfare, but also improving efficiency for the farmer. So, on a personal note, I think that's where we'd like to see more funding. But I guess it's just really great to see the huge variety of different applications of AI. So, yeah, we're looking for applications from all areas, really.
And the best thing, I suppose, is if people think they might have an idea or a project that might be suitable, is to get in contact and speak to you and have an informal chat.
Yes, absolutely. So, if there's anybody that's interested in finding out a little bit more about, what we have to offer, then please do get in touch. And not only to do with AI, but we obviously have projects in different areas, just different innovations that are trying to improve a variety of things in agriculture. So efficiency, as I mentioned, animal welfare, and the environment as well, biodiversity. We cover a whole range of things. So if anyone's interested, please do get in touch, or obviously look at our website as well at Innovate UK Business Connect.
And so, how would they get in contact with you, Caroline?
Well, I could pass on my email address, or I do have, you could contact me by phone. We could have a Zoom meeting and have a chat about anything. So, yeah, if anyone's interested, then I can definitely pass on my email address if that's probably the easiest way.
So, this is AI is an area in agriculture that's not going to go away. It's only going to expand in the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, I think farming, and agriculture is one of the areas where AI has got so many applications. It's exciting in many ways, and in terms of things like, reducing the use of fertilizer and making
Mhm.
sure
Mhm.
crops are available at certain times, or, cows are milked at certain times, diseases are picked up. It is really interesting. I suppose some people might say, a downside might be that you're reducing the labour on farms,
Hmm.
the job opportunities for new people to come in.
Hmm.
Do you have a view on that?
Um, well, yeah, I mean, there have obviously been problems with getting, especially seasonal labor. There've been shortages, and so I think in that way it's actually really beneficial. But also, as you say, farmers may be worried that it's going to take away their jobs. But I think it actually will just perhaps cut down on some of the difficult jobs that they have, make their lives a bit easier. But also, they will learn new skills, and I don't think it will take away uh, farmers' jobs. I think it will just improve what they do and make them more efficient. So I think I think that isn't going to be a problem for the farming industry.
Caroline, thank you very much for talking to Hexham TV.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me. It's been great.